What is going on, guys and gals? Brooklyn bound the Raid Scientist here, and today I'm going to walk you through everything you need to know about getting this year's Guardian Games title and seal, Champ, and some tips on how to get it done the quickest. Real quick, if you're not already subscribed to the channel, watch the full video, and if you find it helpful or useful in any way, please consider subscribing to join the community and get connected to all of our other Destiny 2 content. Alright, so this year's Guardian Games title is called Champ and requires you to complete 16 total triumphs to unlock it. There are also 4 additional triumphs you can unlock as well to gild it. To unlock these triumphs, you'll first need to head to the tower and talk to Ava Levante, completing the first step in the Guardian Games quest, which will unlock the event card fully and allow you to see all of the triumphs. Now, you essentially want to review the triumphs and make note of all the ones you can work on at the same time in parallel to get this completed the quickest. You can essentially split these up into PvP Supremacy based triumphs and then PvE based triumphs. There are also a few triumphs that you can work on in both activities. Overall, there are 4 triumphs that must be done in the PvP Supremacy mode, 3 triumphs that have to be done in PvE activities, and then 9 triumphs that can be done in either PvP or PvE activities that you can double dip and work in parallel. First, let's cover all the ones you can work on in both activities. There are 5 contender card medal-based triumphs. Ava Levante has a bunch of contender cards for sale for Glimmer that require you to do certain activities and award gold or platinum medals. The In the Cards triumph requires you to complete 15 of these platinum contender cards, and the bronze, silver, gold, and platinum triumphs require you turn in medals of each kind. Keep in mind, higher level medals still award progress for the lower tier medals, which essentially means just work on the platinum contender cards and the platinum medals, and the rest of the medals will fill in on their own. Now, I'll explain some of the fastest ways I know how to unlock the platinum contender cards to finish all of these triumphs the fastest. However, keep in mind that if you're really trying to speed through this title as fast as possible, you want to work on platinum contender cards that match the activities you need to do for the other triumphs. Mainly the Trials card if you're doing PvP matches, or the Nightfall card for the Nightfall completions. First, once you've knocked out those triumphs while doing those cards at the same time, then you can use the methods to follow here to farm even more cards to finish any other platinum medals or more loot if you've done the title already. First, the raid and dungeon based platinum contender card will get you 50% completion on dungeon bosses. So, if you can get a Shattered Throne or Pit of Heresy final boss checkpoint and save it by switching characters, you can quickly farm the boss and finish one platinum card in about 10 minutes. Any dungeon or raid encounter works, it just so happens that the Shattered Throne boss and the Pit of Heresy boss tend to be 2 of the fastest. Second, the Lost Sector based platinum contender card will get you about 50 to 60% completion from 1 master Lost Sector completion. So you can finish this one in 2 master Lost Sectors. If you have a team of 3 and are high enough level, you should be able to finish the master Lost Sector in about 5 minutes, taking 10 minutes total to do 2 runs. Now, if you're a solo player, there are still a few decent options. First, you can again grab the Raid Platinum Contender card and instead load up Last Wish, the raid, and go solo. Go to the Wish Wall Warp to Shirochi checkpoint, and you can farm the entrance to this encounter for defeats, wipe, and repeat to complete this relatively quickly. Secondly, if you like PvP, you can grab the Trials Platinum Contender card and play the Guardian Games Supremacy mode, which you need to play anyways for other triumphs, and you should be able to finish it in 1 match unless you have just an absolutely awful game, then it might take 2. And finally, if you grab the Neomuna Platinum Contender card, you can load up the Breakneck mission on Legendary difficulty, and you will get to a spot where you can put down a rally flag to refill your ammo, farm kills until the Wyvern spawns, and then wipe and repeat until finished. Regardless of how you choose, each contender card nets you 1 platinum medal, and you can repeat these for as much as you need to finish all 5 of these triumphs. The other 3 triumphs you can do in multiple activities are Pull Some Strings, Classy Arsenal, and Talented Scout. These require getting 1500 Strand defeats in any activity, 200 Guardian Games weapon defeats, and 600 Scout Rifle final blows. Thankfully, this event's weapon is a Strand-based Scout Rifle. There is also a Void SMG called the Title. If you equip and use these weapons in either PvP or PvE activities, it will count towards the progress of these 3 triumphs. If you use these weapons in PvP to get defeats as well, it seems to go a little faster as percentage per defeat. I didn't actually calculate it though. Make sure if you're using them in PvP, you mod yourself around targeting Void SMG or Strand, using a Strand subclass, and reloaders for Void and Strand depending on what weapon you're using to make yourself more effective. Okay, so taking these things into consideration, using your Strand Scout Rifle or Title Void SMG, repeatedly grabbing contender cards and farming medals, let's get into the 4 additional PvP triumphs which come from playing the special class-based Supremacy mode. For Guardian games, there is a special PvP mode that will show up at the top of the tower called Supremacy. Supremacy is a game of taking out players and picking up their crest they leave behind. When you or your teammates die, you will also drop a crest that can be picked up by your team to keep the other team from getting it and scoring. Bungie added a special choice in matchmaking for Guardian games which matches you with all of the same class you are playing on and against a team of all the same class as well. The Good Games, Class Pride, Friendly Rivalry, and Crest Collector triumphs all can be worked on at the same time by just playing Supremacy. Good Games has you defeat targets, Class Pride has you complete 10 matches with the special class-based matchmaking, Friendly Rivalry has you completing any Crucible, or Gambit, matches, and Crest Collector has you picking up 50 crests in the Supremacy mode. If you're an average player, you'll probably finish these all in about 10 matches that you have to play. If you're really struggling in PvP, it might take you a tad longer on the defeats, but overall this should take you no more than 10 to 12 matches of Supremacy to finish them all just by playing the game mode. Get defeats, pick up crests, and complete matches. As a tip, if you're new to Supremacy, when you get a kill, don't just rush in to grab the crest immediately. Scan the environment, check your radar, make sure it's safe. Otherwise, you'll get taken out yourself running out in the open to grab it. Play smart, and sometimes you can even use the crest as bait in some situations to get more people to come out to get them and get more defeats. Try to be a little bit more patient. Alright, finally, there are 3 PvE-based triumphs called Up for the Challenge, Cloud Running, and Circuit Training. These have you complete activities in the Guardian Games Ops Nightfall playlists, complete any activity on Neomuna, and complete any Dares of Eternity, Vanguard Ops, or Defiant Battlegrounds activity, respectively. If you're watching this video before Tuesday, May 9th, then you can work on all 3 of these at one time doing the Guardian Games Ops Nightfall playlists, because this week it is the Hypernet Current Strike, which takes place on Neomuna. At reset, on Tuesday, it's likely going to change and you'll have to do the Neomuna activity separately. If this is the case, you'll need to run Lost Sectors or do weekly story missions. I did not test to see if the raid counted towards the Cloud Running Triumph, so comment below if you do get any percentages on that. I highly recommend trying to get this done while a Hypernet is the strike for Guardian games. While running the Guardian Games Nightfall playlist, remember to grab a Nightfall contender card before running these for an extra platinum medal. Toss on your Strand Scout if you still need that triumph as well, and get ready for running a ton of these Nightfalls. I was getting about 6.5 to 7% completion on the triumph per run, so it's probably going to take around 15 total Nightfalls to finish up for the challenge, but you will likely have also finished the Cloud Running and Circuit Training at the same time. And that's all the triumphs aside from the one I skipped called In It to Win It, which essentially everyone will have done anyway, which just comes from depositing a single medallion into the podium. All in all, this is a pretty easy seal to get. Much better than having to do like 40 Haunted Lost Sectors or whatever it was for the Festival of the Lost. And as a bonus, if you finish the Flame Keeper from Solstice, Ghost Rider from Festival of the Lost, and Starbaker from the Dawning, then when you finish Champ, you'll also unlock the Reveler seal as well. Now finally, if you're interested in farming more rolls of the TARAXIPPOS Strand Scout Rifle or the Void SMG the Title after finishing the seal, a good way to get a ton of rolls by finishing the 2 bonus quests called Shoot to Score and Vying for Supremacy. These come from Lord Shaxx and Commander Zavala and have you reach certain scores in either PvP Supremacy or Guardian Games Nightfall Ops. Once you reach the platinum score, you can go to the tower and there will be some ledges as shown with chests that you can open to get more rolls. If you get to platinum level, you will get a ton of duplicates and even get some masterworked ones which dismantle into enhancement cores. You can do each quest once a week throughout the event. Other ways, to farm the Scout Rifle SMG, just keep farming those platinum contender card as I mentioned earlier for more rolls. And that's it. Thanks for watching, Guardians. Best of luck out there. Who's going to win the Guardian games? We'll see you next time.